I like my baby hair with baby hair and afros. I like my Negro nose with Jackson 5 nostrils. Earned all this money, but they never take the country out. I got hot sauce in my bag, swag. Beyonce knows Carter. All of this on account of we want to register to become first-class citizens. And if the Freedom Democratic Party is not seated, I question America. Is this America? The land of the free and the home of the brave? Where we have to sleep with our telephones off the hooks, because our lives be threatened daily because we want to live as decent human beings in America. Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer. See, the black woman in the South got a hate you but I love you type of relationship. Y'all know about slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, racism, white supremacy, and the systematic oppression of black folk in America. And if you ain't, it's 2019. I need you to read up and catch up. Y'all also know about how the South is viewed on a global scale. Outsiders say it's backwards, slow, regressive, and destitute. Well, today I'm going to talk about how two Southern black women created their own narratives by embracing what the world ain't, by being black, female, and Southern. They helped change the narrative and narrators of Southern black women's stories to reflect who we truly are. So, let the stories of these two Southern black women inspire you to embrace what the world ain't, and that's who you truly are. Now, if the spirit moves you, write this down, take it with you. First, embrace what you ain't supposed to. Beyonce is one of the biggest superstars on the planet. Because of her talent, work ethic, and spirit, the world has been captivated by her magic. Now, this is only my opinion, but her essence was and is so great that the world didn't see her. You know, her Houston, Texas baby, her kinky hair, her Southern drawl, and the magic in her managing the intersectionality of her race, class, gender, and region. And then, she blessed the world with her hit song, Formation, and she squeezed us a fresh glass of lemonade, which was the title of her #1 album that was sweetened with Southern black women. Lord, it was revolutionary. And soon, the world woke up from its trance and realized that Beyonce is a black woman from the South that has feelings, emotions, stories to tell, and deeper conversations to have. And Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer was a Mississippi sharecropper like my granny and my great-grandmother. Mrs. Hamer lived at 626 East Lafayette Street in Ruralville, Mississippi in Sunflower County. After attending a voters' rights meeting, which was led by the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, she became a powerful voice for civil rights and human rights for black folk in the South. Poor in wealth but rich in spirit, her eyes could pierce your soul. She was confident in her appearance, her full body, her kinky hair, her Southern accent, sitting boldly at the Democratic National Convention, where she spoke in her native tongue, a few double negatives, a thick Southern drawl, but not once would you question her intelligence. After all, real recognize real, and what's real may be ignored, but it cannot be denied. Beyonce Knowles Carter and Fannie Lou Hamer are two of many Southern black women who have embraced what they ain't supposed to by being black, being woman, being Southern, and being unapologetic about being authentically themselves. See, this is so significant because society will tell you to censor yourself. Oh, that's a little too much hot sauce on your attitude. That's a little too much sugar in your personality. So when you begin to face the world, but most importantly, your own personal mirror, begin to embrace what the world ain't, and that's who you truly are. Beyonce did it and created an entire visual album, Lemonade, where she found power in her blackness, her womanhood, her Southern roots, and her struggles. And now we create think pieces, curriculums, and TED Talks about it. And for Beyonce, it created a personal renaissance for her to create what she wants, and it's still hit #1. And Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer, she did it by showing the world what it's truly like in the Mississippi Delta. She showed the resilience of the land and black people, and how black folk ain't never just let slavery Jim Crow, and other injustices just happened. There has always been black resistance to white supremacy in the South. This is why we still honor her till this day. Secondly, find confidence in shame. These two women have both had their share of shame, but I want to focus on Mrs. Hamer for this one. Fannie Lou Hamer was beaten in a Winona, Mississippi jail in 1963. 3 white men, one being a state highway patrolman, ordered 2 Negro prisoners to take turns beating Mrs. Hamer with a blackjack until they were exhausted. When Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer began to scream, a white guard began to beat her in the head and tell her to shut up. Already having pre-existing health problems, she later suffered from permanent eye and kidney damage. We gonna make you wish you was dead. These were the words that came out of his mouth, and the torture that proceeded was done to bring the ultimate shame to Mrs. Hamer, that boldly embodied blackness, womanhood, the South, and brilliance. They wanted her to be so ashamed for being bruised and beaten, not only physically, but psychologically. They wanted her to be the good Negro and let Mississippi stay the way Mississippi wanted to stay. Well, on August 22nd, 1964, at the Democratic National Convention, she boldly testified to the Credentials Committee about what happened to her in that jail on that day. See, the very incident that was supposed to silence her made her louder so that the nation, the world, but most importantly, Mississippi could hear her. Even Lyndon B. Johnson tried to silence her by making a presidential address during her testimony. However, it was so awkward that people began to be skeptical about the true motive of his speech. His diversion plan backfired, and Mrs. Hamer's testimony got even more press. So, what's the lesson in this for you? There will be people and situations in life that come to bring you a lot of shame. They will beat you down to a pulp so that they are confident you will not recover from the damage. You may even find yourself thinking that it's over for you. The pain and the shame may be too much for you to bear. Be reminded of Mrs. Hamer in these times. Find confidence in knowing what shame intended to do to your future and your progress will backfire. Your confidence in knowing, your confidence in what was supposed to be shameful for you will baffle others. They will wonder. They will whisper. And after the chatter ceases, they will ask you, how? You will tell them, you can't shame me without my permission, and I ain't signed a damn thing. Number 3, living unapologetically is difficult. Icons and people that have been praised throughout history have been unapologetic about many things in life. This is why they are often admired. Just know that it comes with the extreme price of difficulty. It may look easy, it may seem turnkey. However, when you begin to embrace what you ain't supposed to and find confidence in the shame, the reality of you being criticized, ostracized, and dehumanized becomes real. Just think about these 2 women I've been talking about today. Beyonce has received so much hate in the recent years for being unapologetic. I'm pretty sure that it is difficult for her to slay while being on the high road. Instead, she keeps it classy and puts all of her clapbacks in her songs. Why? Because she's flawless. Goddamn. And Mrs. Fannie Lou Hamer received so many threats and attempts on her life, it was meant to bring her the ultimate shame. She was harassed constantly in Mississippi in the 1960s. This was extremely difficult. However, she continued to do the work in Mississippi, the South, the nation, and the world until her death in 1977. Don't expect to embrace what the world ain't and fly under the radar. Bless your little heart if you think so. If you're going to be somebody, if you're going to go somewhere, know that difficulty will be riding alongside with you. Don't be afraid of it. Know that many people are defeated by difficulty because they were not prepared to face it. So, in reality, it's not the difficulty that we should avoid. It is being unprepared to face it. You may stumble, you may flinch, but remember, you were made for this. And lastly, as Beyonce said in her hit song, Formation, get in formation, and as Fannie Lou Hamer did, start a revolution. Now that you have been inspired by the greatness that is the Southern Black woman, it's time to get in formation to start a revolution. What is the revolution? It is a combination of everything that I spoke about today. It is embracing what the world ain't, even if it's deemed unfit or unworthy. Be you anyway. It is finding confidence in the shame that people will try to cover you in. It is also living unapologetically, knowing that living unapologetically is difficult. However, being prepared for it will solve your problem, and you are ready for the revolution. Now, as I close, I want to remind you all of one thing. So much of Black girl magic, as you have seen today, has been channeled to motivate and uplift. However, it often goes not credited, not honored, and definitely not amplified. So, as you move forward, please remember to cite your sources for inspiration. As you do what these two Southern Black women have done, embrace what the world ain't, and that's who you truly are. Thank you.